Skirting around change. It's interesting. This came up in a session last week, and then I brought it into the free full moon webinar and opened the topic. And I realized after it was open that this is a huge topic in the field, skirting around change. And really, when I looked into it deeper after the full moon webinar, I realized that this is a huge field of information where our ancestors were skirting around change. And when you think about epigenetics, you're working on fields that have been there for hundreds of years in the system. So you need to go deeper. In these fields, they're quite big fields. And it's really good that, I'm going to spend 4 hours working on every topic that comes up in the webinar around any part of your soul or your subconsciousness, which is skirting around change, excuses. What part of you is avoiding change? What part of you doesn't want to see yourself, face yourself? So this webinar will be really, really dissecting all the different topics around where you're avoiding yourself, running from yourself, making stories up. And what's amazing, and you may not believe me, and I accept, I invite you not to believe everything I'm saying, just simply feel what's right for you. You know, a lot of what we think we're blocking is not even ourselves. A lot of it is from our ancestors. And in the epigenetics, all the significant information is passed on in the epigenetic information. And that's in your DNA, and that's in your cells, and that's in your subconsciousness. And that affects you. That really affects you, how your grandmother was around changes, around confrontation, around making change in our life. And a lot of women, for example, and men, they had to put their creativity away. They had to put their own personal needs away because they had to feed the family, feed the kids, put food on the table, and take jobs maybe that was about food, not because they loved it. And many of your ancestors can say they really loved their career. Many of them put their career, their love away, their passion away to take a 9 to 5 job or to take a job for retirement, pension, something more secure. And then that's in your epigenetics. And then you're asking yourself, why am I not able to be an entrepreneur? Why am I not able to move to the next level? Because your ancestors played safe, because they needed to. No judgments. But if that's in your system, that will affect you going to the next level. So that's just one example. In this webinar, I'm going to go into multiple examples of and situations where you may be avoiding change. And really 90% of that, what you think is yours, is belong to the ancestors. And those thoughts are in your subconsciousness. And it was interesting. When I was working with this the other day, I saw it like a GPS system. And I remember I was in Nice and I was driving, and it was the first experience really of trusting a GPS system. And it was telling me to go, to go left. And they had changed the directions of the roads that weekend because of maintenance. And the GPS kept telling me to go left, go left, go left. And I was like, no, 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 I'm going right, I'm going right. So that's what's running in your system. So if the ancestors are saying go left, go left, go left, it's a lot of energy, and you relax into it. You just listen to it. It's a lot of energy to break that when that's running all the time in your system. Play safe. Don't expand. Don't be visible. Be invisible. Don't be rich. In Catholic Ireland, there was a lot of guilt around being rich. Oh my gosh, I'll go to hell. So if that's in your system, you need to break it if you like, because it will affect your finances and will cap your finances and will cap you not being an entrepreneur. And if there's, for example, it depends what your ancestors worked at. If that's in your system, something about bankruptcy, something about starvation, something about war, loss, losing a home, that will be in your system. Something where their homes were taken by an enemy, then foreigners moving is very dangerous. So, or disease, or if there's a cancer in the system. So all these things are in us from the ancestors, and they affect the way we live our lives. And that GPS is going in the background all the time, telling you be afraid, about fear of disease or fear of foreigners, fear of change, fear of the unknown. So what is in your GPS system, in your hard drive, which is belong to the ancestors, and how's that working for you? How's that working for you? And how's it worked up to now for you? Do you want to break it? Do you want to change it? That is the real question. Do you really want to break it? Do you really want to change it? Is a better question. And go deeper and ask yourself the same question. Are you ready to make changes? Are you ready to make changes? Real changes, not the frills, not the sugar candy, not the honey, real changes. Are you ready to go deep? Are you ready to go deeper? These are the questions. And this is where it will come up in the system, skirting around change. So this webinar, after the free webinar, I'd really recommend you again to do that. That will open the field up for you before we step into these fields. Because behind, as we open those doors to where we're avoiding change, all the ancestral, which is hundreds of years old, of them not making changes is in our blood. So now it's time to clean up the system and to change our own systems. And when we change it and close those doors, then we have real change and impact in our lives. So let's create solid, grounded impact in our lives, solid, grounded impact in our finances, solid, grounded impact in our health, and stop skirting around change. Take action. The first action can be booking the webinar. You will feel the results the minute you book it. I guarantee you that. So, I invite you to be part of this potent field. And as you change it, you're changing for yourself, you're changing for your children, you're changing for your ancestors, and you're changing for all of us. And when one person is born into this world, that is a possibility of growth for all of us, because each one of us as a soul is here with the possibility, and each one of us do, to create impact on the whole collective field. So by you facing your own ability to face and make real change, deeper change in your system, and face your system, face yourself, you will create impact for all of us. So I invite you to do it for you first. And then the ripple effect is for your ancestors, family, and the collective. So I invite you to be part of this webinar and to sign up. Enjoy.